It basically will ensure that all of our 700,000 government employees in Virginia that work for either the state or the local government will have the ability to collectively bargain. Today, only about 58,000 employees operate under the collectively bargained agreements. This will mean that everybody will have the right to collectively bargain regardless of what zip code they live in. And I already explained why that's a good thing. I'm not going to do that again, but I hope we could put this on the governor's desk. And I hope he'll stand with all of us in supporting our good public servants, especially our law enforcement officers who put themselves out there every day, who deserve good, fair pay and benefits. No collective bargaining bill has ever passed either chamber, as far as I know, for state employees or local government employees. We had legislation introduced last year, but it did not get to the governor's desk. So this is the first time we're going to pass legislation and put a bill on the governor's desk, first time ever. With regard to why we ought to be doing this, our state police were chronically underfunded for a long time until we were able to get some money into them. We took our majorities back in 2014, 12, 13, 14, something like that, whenever the year was. But state police need funding. We currently have vacancy rates of over 20%. Nearly every law enforcement agency I talk to, Fairfax County, they've been short for a long time now, which has led to practically virtually no traffic enforcement because they don't have guys in the streets. Getting them good pay and benefits is what this is all about, so that we can actually hire and retain law enforcement for the long term. And the last thing I'll just say, Madam President, is that the law enforcement officers I talked to, while they felt unappreciated after what happened during the pandemic, they feel especially unappreciated now, given that about 1,000 cop beaters just got pardoned, and also given what's going on at the FBI, the gutting going on there, what's going on at ATF. And I think we need to send a message that this legislature has law enforcement's back, that we're going to support them, that we're going to allow them to collectively bargain so they can get paid, get good benefits, and have processes that allow them to live in the communities that they police.
This is something that should not be occurring in a government. We are the ones that pull the purse strings when it comes to state police. We should do better about it. We can do better about it. But collective bargaining is not going to help them. And I dissented and wrote, I dissent on the conference committee report because I believe what's included in there, especially for the state police, is not wanted, and it won't be to their best benefit.
During my time as sheriff, I was able to speak with sheriffs around the nation, many of those states where collective bargaining was in place, and they almost unanimously said it was the worst thing that ever happened, not just to them as sheriffs, but to their organization. It came down to where they were negotiating whether T-shirts were going to be V-necks or crew necks, and what color socks, and were they going to be issued, and every 5 minutes of extra time was going to be, was it going to be double time, triple time? There was just all kinds of crazy scenarios that come out there. They will want to dictate what kind of cars they were, the administrators were forced to buy, not what was the most efficient or what was the most cost effective, but what those who were doing the bargain demanded. It was just a terrible thing. And while salary is important and our people are underpaid and we should be doing more, certainly salary is not always a factor, and nor is it a factor for those who are our nurses or our teachers or our doctors. It's a factor. Certainly salary is not a factor for all of us who are in this chamber.
There's been a lot of talk this session about affordability, about cost of living, about families being able to support themselves and pay their salaries. That's what this bill is all about. This is probably the ultimate bill. You know, we can pass $500, refunds. We can pass, tweaks to standard deduction. This bill will provide meaningful improvement in the quality of life for 800,000 government employees in the Commonwealth of Virginia. It doesn't get much more fundamental than that. And that's what this stands for, is the ability of people to work together, to talk to their boss, to get better pay, better health care, better benefits, so they can support their family. Voting red on this is voting against helping people improve their quality of life. Fundamentally, that's what this is about.